Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of the And Everything Nice release blog hop with Simon Says Stamp, and I have a fun, simple tree shaker project to share with you. I'm going to be featuring all Kathy Zielske products. Today is an ode to my favorite CZ design, and I'm starting with the new tree plate. I die cut it out of a panel of nectar cardstock, and then I am cutting all these little slivers. Each tree is getting its own color, and these are all Concord 9th solid color cardstock. Got sorbet, poppy, honeysuckle, lemongrass, avocado, artichoke. Let's see if I can remember these. Seafoam, eucalyptus, and juniper. I am shocked that I remembered the names of those. And then took it off camera, ran it through my die cutting machine, and now you have each little tree. And they're in rainbow order. Okay, so we have all the trees. And now we're going to create our shaker panel. So I went ahead and trimmed a sheet of acetate to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And I am taping the perimeter of this, the back of this nectar panel with RIFIC tape. It's the Simon Says Stamp score tape. Use it all the time. They got the 4th inch and the 8th inch, and it's terrific. I also do a couple little strips in the middle just so that acetate sticks well in the middle too. Okay, so I'm going to take off the backing on all of these strips of score tape and then lay down that sheet of acetate. It's always like you got to make sure you get it straight. You only get one shot to do this, and then you lay that down. Now your shaker window is ready to go. These are, you know what these are. They're foam adhesive strips. And I have so many of these, different brands, different sizes, different thicknesses. Use them all the time. Love them for shakers, but I also love them for sentiment strips. And sometimes I just grab them because they're handy. Okay, so I'm just doing the perimeter. And then last minute, I decided to add a couple strips in the center because I was worried about having a saggy middle. You know what I'm saying? Nothing worse than a saggy middle. So I put a couple strips there. And then now I took off the backing, and I should have probably waited on this because I do need to line up my trees behind the shaker, and I want the trees to be lined up in the right spot. So because I already put the foam adhesive tape and everything on there, I went ahead and cut another panel of white cardstock, and underneath it I have my white card base. So I lay that on top. This is going to act as a guide, and I'm just putting some glue in the openings, and I'm going to lay down my trees. My festive little holiday tree. Somehow this feels Christmassy to me because Christmas is jolly. Christmas is joy. Christmas is rainbow. It is in Laura Fedora land. Okay, I'm using the Pawsitively Perfect craft glue. I never thought I would feel so passionate about a little mini glue bottle, but here we are. Here we are. I've almost gone through 2 little minis, and I highly recommend. Okay, so here we have the trees, and you could really customize this. You don't have to do rainbow colors. You could just do all red and greens, or maybe throw in a little white. You could do more subtle. You could do pastel. You could do pattern paper. You could do glitter paper, metallics. You know what I mean? Just using up. It only takes a little sliver, so you can really use up your stash. And I say that jokingly because I have a drawer of scraps, and it never goes down. I always say use up your scraps, but my scraps never get used up. It's just like an endless supply. Anywho, carefully removing the guide. And now here's where you add the fun part, the shaker. I'm using some Star Shine embellishment mix. These are just like clear confetti. I almost did like I think a mini star confetti would look cute, or just something neutral because you already have a lot of color. You just need a little shake. And then now I'm going to carefully line this up. You only get one shot. Do not sneeze. And then now I feel like whenever you make a shaker, you really got to work it in. Sometimes at first it might not have amazing shakeage, but sometimes the shakeage needs a little working in. But we're going to move on to the sentiment. Another CZ Design product, the Holiday Trio 1. I've already used it a couple times, and both times I love the Jolly. So I wanted to do something different this time, so I did Jingle. And I just so happened to find this sentiment strip. I went on the Simon Says Stamp website and I typed in Jingle All the Way. And wouldn't you know it, these reverse sentiment strips popped up. They're actually called CZ reverse typed Christmas sentiment strips. And when I saw it, I was like, perfect, Jingle All the Way. Gonna put that with the Jingle standalone word die. So for the shadow backer, I did juniper. I did 3 out of white. I'm going to use the mini craft glue to stack these up because dimension is life. I'm actually doing this voiceover in a hotel room because we had a hockey game out of town. And you know, I brought my microphone, brought the laptop, and I hope that the people in the other room can't hear me singing my ridiculous jingles about my cards. So I stacked up the 3 white ones, gluing it onto that juniper shadow backer. Now here's the thing. Here is the thing. Jingle has 2 tittles. And I die cut it 3 times, so that means we got to adhere 6 tittles. I've never done so many tittles on one card. And I've never said tittles so many times in one video, but here we are. Okay. The one thing I love about this Place and Pierce wand, on the other end of it, it has the teeniest, tiniest little sticky dot thingamajiggy, and it works great for tittles. Okay, got this all adhered, and then I'm going to do that right on an angle. It's like these word dies were meant to go on an angle, and then I'm using my little mini guillotine trimmer to carefully trim out this little Jingle All the Way sub-sentiment. And Kathy Ziski, if you're listening, I'm putting in a request. We need more sentiments or sentiment strips with little sub-sentiments that can go with these word dies, like Jingle All the Way. I need a bunch of Jingle All the Ways. And I need sub-sentiments that can go with Jolly, with Ho Ho Ho. You know, see how it just ties it together? Jingle All the Way, like it's giving me life. I popped those up with 3D foam squares, and another one of those, the sentiment strip has the foam adhesive strip on the back of it. And now, the most important thing is I got to show you my view. I know you're going to love this, but there's Hank the Tank. This is what he does most days. He sleeps in the grass outside in the freezing cold, and just so that he can have a view of me in my craft room, or rather I can have a view of him. But there you have it. Hank says hi. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure and check out the rest of the And Everything Nice release blog hop with Simon Says Stamp. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.